we're moving to the push notification part. As far as I remember, Umit, if you were taking the sessions or the Windows Azure sessions with Umit as well. Umit is my teammate, but he's in charge of the Windows Azure. I guess he delivered a session about the Windows Azure mobile services, and so there are lots of things in common. The Windows Azure mobile services kind of gives you gives you lots of what we do in the push notification, but with a kind of a high level thing. I mean, it does not get you involved in a lot of development or knowing what's happening exactly inside. So what we're going to do today, so if you already got what Umit has delivered in his session, believe me, like the Windows Azure Mobile Services, it's amazing tool for you guys to use. You can do lots of things with in a very easy and a straightforward way. Today's session we're going to talk. I mean, this part of the session, push notification, we're going to talk about the concept of push notifications. What exactly happens with push notifications in a generic way, not just using Windows Mobile, Windows Azure mobile services. So let's get started. So push notifications and live tiles. A user can choose to pin a tile to the start screen, right? That's what we've just said. To set so that he pins like an application, a deep link from his application, for example, so that you just have a direct access to that page in his application. What about you getting notifications from the app? Just thinking about an email, right? So the thing about notification that we've just covered earlier in the session, we're doing that locally, right? We did that through the coding part. What about you're getting a message, or you're getting an email, or you're having a chat application like a WhatsApp? What you need to have is you have to get this application updated, right? So that's the use of the push notification. It gives you, or it offers the developers a way to send timely information related to their application even when they're not running. So your application is not running, but you're still getting the notification on a timely basis. You don't want to get the notification an hour later, or even like 30 minutes later, right? You want to get the notification right away, especially in a very interactive and active apps like chat applications, WhatsApp, Viber, whatever the applications you're one of these popular apps. So Windows Phone has the unique ability to provide the end user glanceable access to the information they care most about through the live tiles. So through the live tiles and push notification, you can update the user with counts as a notification, or you can even give him an update in his calendar. For example, if I get an email with a calendar, a meeting, for example, my calendar from my manager, I don't have to check my email to check if this calendar item is on, if this meeting is on my calendar or not. It will just pop up on my calendar. Sorry, it will just pop up on my calendar right away without me having to look and check if and pull that data from the server. So, do we have a question here? Sorry. So, yeah, can I ask a question on mine, because I'm having my lunch now in parallel? Okay, sure. Go ahead. You may ask your question. I hope you're not like kind of shooing first. Okay.
Yeah, I will ask when I want to ask.
Okay. Sure, no problem. So you have a question now. Okay, so let's get back. So push notifications. Notifications. They allow asynchronous messages to be sent to a phone. In the past, what happened is, like, because of the nature of mobile phone networks and mobile software, the user usually used to pull the data from the servers, which was not a really an efficient way. So, for example, if you need to check if you got an email or not, the application that used to happen in the past before the push notification concept comes to life. So there was this kind of a pull or a pull thing. You have to send a message to for example, if you got an email, your application every period of time, it sends a request to the server asking if there are any new notifications or not. And imagine if you're having lots of apps on your on your device, for example 10 apps, and they're doing that, for example, every now and then. So this means that, and then for example you just get one notification per day, and you're getting that, like, I don't know, these 10 apps, they're doing it every hour, pulling this notification on an hourly basis, and you just get one. So that means, like, in 24 hours you made 24 times 10, that's 240 requests, and you just get 10 positive replies per day. So that's a waste of resources, right? In terms of battery, in terms of data, if you're using a data connection, in terms of even processing power, all of these things are not good. So push notifications, these are server-initiated communication that enables key background scenarios, preserves the battery life, and offers a better user experience, preventing polling for updates. So whenever you've got a notification, you don't have to ask for it. The server will do that for you. It will send that notification for your application or for your device with the data you'd like to get. Okay, so that's the concept of push notifications. On any questions about that one? I guess that one. Okay, I'll just go on. So on Windows Phone there are 3 types of notifications. There's someone else. Can you please, guys, if you're not using the mic, go on mute? Thank you. On Windows Phone there are 3 kind of notifications. There's the raw, toast, and the tile. You can the raw notification. You can use the raw notification to send information to your application. If your application is not currently running, this raw notification is discarded on the Microsoft push notification service, and it's not going to be delivered to the device. The toast notification, it has a specific XML schema. So a toast notification is displayed at the top of the screen to notify the users of an event, like a news, an update, an alert. If you get a message from your friend on or an SMS, you get this notification on as a toast notification. It displays for about 10 seconds, unless the user dismisses it with a flick to the right. You just push it to the right with to dismiss this notification. If the content is delivered to the app, if it is running, if the application is not running, the system displays the toast pop-up using the notification message content. The third kind of notification, the tile, and a tile notification can be used to update a tile on start. Right? So it's never delivered to an application. For example, account. Unless you want to deliver to the application through a role, for example, if your application is running. So account, for example, you got a new message, so it updates on your tile. You want to change the color of your store app, like the question we've got. You can do that on your tile. I'm sorry, of the tile application. If it's red, you want to change that to green, or if you want to change that to a different thing, you can do that as well. So if the tile is currently pinned to the start screen, the system updates it using a notification message content, and will show that in a demo at the end of the session. So what happens exactly?
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
When we use WhatsApp and we have a new message, so WhatsApp use a toast notification?
WhatsApp uses all. WhatsApp updates the tile, it sends you a toast, and if you're inside the application, it sends you a roll.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. So push notifications data flow. So this diagram, you can see it just shows how things run. So we've got like 3 major parties here. We've got the device, the phone device. We've got a third-party service, which is your web service. Okay, and we've got the Microsoft push notification service, or the server here for the Microsoft push notification service. So what happens is, we've got like these 3 things, okay? And on your device, we've got a push-enabled applications and a notifications service, which comes with the OS. So your client application running on the phone, okay? What happens is, once you run the application, your client on the phone, or your application running on the phone requests a push notification URI. It goes to the Microsoft. It sends through the notification service to the Microsoft, to the MPNS. It asks it for a URI so that it becomes detectable. Okay, so that it. Okay, I'll take you through the data flow and then tell you exactly why is every things happening here. So first of all, it asks the Microsoft push notification server for a notification URI, and this URI will be used so that whenever a user wants to send you a message or a notification or an update, it will be sent to this URI. Okay, so it's kind of your ID whenever you'd like to get this notification. So the application sends a request for a push for a notification URI, and the Microsoft push notification service returns back that URI to the to your application. Then your application then send this URI to your web service. This is a kind of an example of how, what is being sent to the web service. Okay, don't just try to read it. It's just a kind of a URI. It is sent to your service. So if you, for example, running a weather application, so first of all you send an app, and then you run your application, and then you send this application to your you send a request to a URI from the Microsoft push notification service, and asking that server or the MPNS to give you a URI so that you can get through that URI or that address the notifications you need. Once you get that from the MPNS, you send that URI to your web service, right? And you can send that, for example, through a web service or whatever. You can send that to that third-party service, so to the weather notification server you're having here, so that it detects that this application is now active, and this application can have or can be sent the notification. For example, you can send also like location-based thing so that you get the notification. If you're living in Dubai, in Cairo, whatever, you can send this location to this server, and this server, whenever it sends you the proper notification you might want. Okay, so now once you send that URI to the service, you are now identified in the server with that you are now a push-enabled application. And once this third-party server wants to send you a notification, it sends an HTTP post message to the Microsoft push notification service, telling it, I want to send to this application, to this URI, I want to send this message. And then Microsoft push notification service routes the notification to the application running on the Windows Phone device. So your server, for example, if it's a weather or WhatsApp, they do not send you directly the notification. They send it through Microsoft push notification server. So this is exactly what happens. So and then the Microsoft push notification server sends to this third-party service like WhatsApp or whatever that it received this HTTP post message, but it does not send it an end-to-end message that this message was sent to the device. Do you want one more round, guys, or do you have questions? Questions? No, 2 or more people are typing. I love that. So it's safe for us that what information content we're receiving is without any bug. I'm not sure what's happening actually on the server, but I expect so, yes. Because there's, I mean, like whatever is being sent to you through as a notification from Microsoft is safe. But by the way, you can send through the notification a URI, right? And then this URI that you open, it can get you takes you to a buggy place, or it can takes you to a wrong place. So it's not about like the data being sent. It may be like what this data is going to take you to. Okay, so let me take it one more round. So this is exactly what's happening. Okay, this diagram shows how a push notification is sent. The green colors, okay, look at that. The green colors is what a developer needs to code. Okay, which is your application, your push-enabled app on your device, and your cloud service that is going to send the notification. Okay, so for you, so if you're planning to create an application with a push-enabled app, then you need a cloud service so that you send the data you'd like to communicate to this application, and you need to develop an application so that it receives this data. The ones in blue, these are the Microsoft. These are already implemented by Microsoft, which is the Microsoft push notification server and the push client service on your device. So you don't have to worry about these things. So again, what happens is your push-enabled application will ask the client service that it needs a URI to identify itself, and this push client service would negotiate a URI from the Microsoft push notification service, and then Microsoft push notification service returns back the URI to the push client service, which gives it back to your application. And then once you get the URI, you send it to the cloud service, and now your application is identified in the cloud service. and then you can, and now the cloud service can send you the notifications, and the way it sends you the notification does not send it directly. It sends the notification, which is like updating tiles, toast, raw notification, through the Microsoft push notification service. So it sends a HTTP post message, the Microsoft push notification service, and then the Microsoft push notification service sends back. There should be a kind of an arrow back that it received this message from the cloud service or not. Once it receives it, it sends it to the push client service, and then it comes to your application. Questions? Okay. You have a question? Does the oh wow. Hi, I want to know if Microsoft push post notification service have an SDK. I'm not sure. What do you mean? That's by test. There's someone called test, but I'm not sure what do you mean. So does the step 1 and 4 only happen at the app installation? It has to happen at the app when the app runs, not installation. The application needs to run, and once it runs, because your application needs to be active to ask for that, right? So you have that URI, and then it's saved in the service and then you can send that back to the notification to the application and to that URI that you send to the cloud service. And I'll show you exactly what's happening. For the question, I want to know if Microsoft push notification service have an SDK. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure. But the thing is, I don't think it has. Because I mean, like for a phone developer, you don't need to worry about that. There are API that you can you send, because no, I mean, like as a developer, you don't have access to that. You just develop the web service, and your web service sends to the Microsoft push notification server, which routes this message to your application. Oh, thank you. Okay. I'm not sure if it's an SDK though, Ernest. Okay. So the push notification features, tile updates can update any display element of each of the tile templates, right? So for example, you can update the title, the image, whatever we've discussed about the properties in an object of a tile. You can update that in a push notification, like the title, the image, the background title, the background image, or whatever. You have a maximum size of a notification is 1 kilobyte for the header and 3 kilobyte for the payload. So be careful what you're sending, which is not a small thing. You're sending so you do not have to send. You don't send images, for example, through a notification. You can send I mean, like not images or videos through a notification. You can send a URL to that one, but you don't send that through the post. There are two types of web services. There's authenticated and unauthenticated. The unauthenticated are limited to 500. So from the server side, you can have your web service run as unauthenticated, which means that it's limited to 500 push notifications per subscriptions per day. If you want to remove that limit, then you have to move to an authenticated web service. Which means that you need to use you communicate with the MPNS over a HTTPS channel. And it helps you, and it gives you even more things like an ability to register a callback request, for example, and what have you. So the app setup, let me check if there are any questions, or it's just a discussion. Okay, that web service is free. Well, web services are, I mean, like if you have the server, then it's just hosting the server, right? Azure gives you 10 mobile services for free. Thanks, Collins. We've got an Azure guy here, which can post 500 notifications per day. Oh, okay, that's the rest of the question. Yeah, the 500 notifications per day. That's you can do that. That's a limit, but doesn't have anything to do with the with Microsoft. That has to do with your doing the hosting your server somewhere. In case I want to host my web server, you mean your server on? Well, it depends. I mean, like on Azure, I'm not sure. You should ask Umid, or you guys already took sessions with Umid, so I'm not sure. As far as I know, like your server, that like you pay money for the data being used and what have you. But but it does. I mean, like it's the same amount of money you pay. So Microsoft will charge. No, Microsoft will not charge you if you send the push notifications through the MPNS. You have a limit of 500, a throttle, uh, uh, um, per day. That's per subscription per day. If you want to exceed that, then you need to you need to move to an authenticated one, web service, which means that you need to have a certificate and what have you. Okay, so moving back to the app setup, because I believe we're running out of time. I think we're good. So please follow exactly what you will find on the slides here, because this is exactly what we're doing on the code side, but this is kind of the English translation of what we're having. You open a push channel. If it does not exist, you connect to an existing. If it does not, you open a push channel, or actually you create a push channel if it does not exist. If it exists, then you connect to that existing push channel. So a push channel persists after an app exits if it has been bound to a tile or toast notification. So if you want to receive toast notification, you should call the bind to shell toast method to bind the channel to toast notification. If you want to to receive a tile notification, then you bind your channel to a tile notifications by calling the bind to shell tile method to access the local resource on the device, or the bind to shell tile and collection URI to access remote resources, like an image or whatever you want. Apps that use row notification must implement HTTP notification received event. You register for the events that you want to receive through the channel URI updated and the error occurred, so that you handle if the channel URI is updated, then you push that update. If an error happened, then you should handle that error. So that's exactly what you do, and I'll show you exactly what that happens in the code. This is exactly the translation. So when the application starts, you should pass the URI from your push channel to the cloud service. Once you get that URI, of course, through the MPNS. It's recommended to pass the device ID to a cloud service. That's that's if you would like to track your device. You can send also like some user info if you want. For example, as I mentioned earlier, a location. If you're doing a weather app, you can do lots of things that you can pass to your web service, so that you get the proper kind of notification. So that's exactly what you do from an app side. I think I got a notification. Okay. What about a web service? Then you need to set up your application to receive the push notification, right? And then moving on to the web service, this is where you send your push notifications. You create a post message. If you already worked with web services before, I think these things might be very easy for you. If not, I will just show you exactly what happens. So you create a post message for each Windows Phone device that you send. If you want to send actually, if you want to send multiple posts, if you want to send, for example, multiple notifications, you need to send one notification at a time. For example, like a tile and a toast, then you need to send a post message for the tile, and then another post message with a toast notification. You can only post one notification type, toast, tile, or row at the server at a time. You can post multiple, but that means that one after the other. Okay, you might need to check if you're sending to downgrade the messages correctly for Windows Phone 7.0 clients. So if one of the users, so maybe it's a good thing whenever your application, one of the things you send with the URI, the OS version. If it's 7.0, then you can't send tile notifications for Iconic, for example, right? So you need to make sure that you're sending the right thing. How to do that downgrade? By not using the properties that are not available on the 7.0, specifically the parameter property for toast notifications and the back title for example. Post the message to the, and then you post the message to the push notification service, get the response from the push notification service, and respond accordingly. So this is the kind of what about the cloud service notification content? What you can send? You can send a toast message. It's used by the system to display it. So this is an example of a toast message. So a toast message contains of of a title and a body. So if the application is running, then nothing is displayed. If the application is not running, then you get this toast message. That's the way you send it. You create an HTTP web request, and then you send and then you add these HTTP headers like a content type, and it's a text slash XML. These are kind of a preset contents that you might want to use. I mean, you don't have to memorize that. It's just one thing you do. So that means that it's an XML schema text that you're sending. You're adding that the target of the target of the message you're sending is, this is a toast message. You can put the values of the notification class to 3, 13, or 23 based on the delivery timing you'd like to send. 3 is immediate, 13 is within 450 seconds, 23 within 900 seconds, for example. These are the types of things you might want to do. And this is the message you send. It's an XML message. It's a kind of a template you might. It's an XML message. It's a template you will need to use it's a template you just need to kind of edit. You don't need to memorize it. So it's a version of the XML. This is exactly the two things you need to do. For example, to edit the weather alert. For example, this is the title, and then this is a stormy. For example, the weather is stormy, right? And then you might send even parameters to your a page URI as a parameter. So the payload of what about a tile? Tile messages are never delivered to the app. There are specific schemas for a tile update message. Like we've got like the 3 tile template that we've discussed earlier, the flip, cycle, and iconic. Only tiles we're using flip and iconic can be updated with images at remote URLs. Okay. Interesting. I think that's my mouse again. Sorry for that. Let me get back to the. Remote image is limited to 80 kilobytes and must be downloaded in 30 seconds or less. So do not think about sending like a 1 mega or 100 even kilobytes of remote images. 7.x cannot consume these new templates, so you have to get the unique ID of the device, URI, OS version, and these things when in your application to save that in your database and your web service, for example, so that you send the right messages at the right time. So for the tile, again, the content of this message you're sending, it's an XML schema. You're sending it. You set the target of the header to be a token, which means it's a tile. And then the interval is exactly the same thing. The 3 for the 3 for the immediate, and the 13 for the 450 seconds, and the 23 for the 900 seconds. And this is the message of the tile. So this is a flip tile. With you can just put these things like a small tile image URI in the background. You can just put whatever things you want to send in a tile message. It's the same properties we used to use whenever we're setting our tiles in the application tile or the secondary tiles earlier in the call. Here's the cycle tile template. The same thing. You just copy paste that and just change the URIs of the application. You can send the account as well, the title, if you want. You don't need to send them all. You can just send some stuff and ignore the others. And this is the iconic. The 3 white contents that you have. You can just send one. You can just send all of them. The background color, an ARGB background color of the tile. You can put that one as well. What about raw message? You set the content type to a text XML. The notification and just the notification class. We used in the tile, we used to put the target as token for tile. If you check here, the target as token for tile and the toast for the toast. However, for the raw, you don't need to add that one. And the tile message will be like values that you can be like a set of strings, for example. You can send for the user in a message. Let's take a quick demo. Do you have a question before the demo? Silence.
I'm good.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's check the demo then. Okay. So again, now we have two projects. Guys, if you have the SDK Express edition for the Visual Studio, you might need to create, to download the web, what is it called? The Visual Studio for web edition, I guess, something like that. So if you have a Pro or an Ultimate, you don't need to do that. So that if you want to create the web service. So for the so now we have two projects. Yes, it's called Visual Studio Web Express. So we have two projects, as you can see here. The one on the right, this is the application we're having, and the one on the left, this is the web service. Okay, so let's take a look on the application first. And as I mentioned earlier, you as a developer, you need to develop two things: the application and the web service. So let's take a look at the application first. You know, the application main page, nothing in the main page, an empty loading designer, just in an empty page. However, if you go to the main page with XAML, in the constructor, I'm doing a lot of things. First of all, I'm creating an object of HTTP notification channel, giving it a name, because that's the name of our push channel. So I'm just calling it tile sample channel, and then I'm trying to find if this push channel exists or not. So this push channel, HTTP notification channel that I created, I'm trying to find if this tile sample channel exists or not. This is kind of an ID of the channel, which means if it is null, that means that I have no HTTP notification channel. Then I will create a new one. If it exists, then I will just connect to it. Then I don't need even to connect to it because I'm already connected to it. Do I have a question? Okay. Thanks, Shri, for sharing the web, the Express for Web, Visual Studio Express for Web edition. It's for free. So getting back, if this push channel does not exist, for example, if you're opening the application for the first time, we shouldn't have any HTTP notification channels. So the application should request. We create a new channel URI, and then we'd like to register this channel URI updated. And what it does, this event is we're kind of it gives me the URI that is created. Okay, and once it's created for us, you need to send this URI to the application. We'll do that manually for the demo purposes, but again, there are two, as we've mentioned. Let me just give a recap. You check for once you start your application, you check if this push channel exists or not. If it does not exist, then you create a new object of the HTTP notification channel with the same name that you want here, the tile sample channel, and then you register for the event channel URI updated and the error occurred, and then you open that push channel, and then you bind this channel to the bind to shell tile or the bind to toast, whatever you want. It depends on what notification you would like to receive at. So in this example, we are receiving the URI to the shell. I mean, like, we're binding this URI channel to the shell tile. Okay. What if the channel already exists? All we have to do is just, the channel was already open, so we'll just register for all events. The channel URI updated, or if an error occurred or something. And this is just for demo diagnostics or for debugging purposes. You don't need to worry about that. I'm just showing the URI that is created in the output window. Okay. And again, this is also for the what's happening. So this is what we did for the application from an application side. What about the server side? On the server side, we have a page here, send-tile. Where's the designer part? Okay. Interesting. Okay, where is it? Where's the design? Yep, perfect. So this is a simple web page. I just hope this is not breaking. This is a simple web page. It's got text boxes like the URI that I would like to send to. the front title, background image, white background image, smooth background image, you know, the things that I'm going to send this to the tile notification to. And I have a button called send tile notification, which means that I'm going to get all of the values in the text boxes and create my post message with that values being shared, and then I'm going to send it to the URI specified earlier here. Okay, and then we've got our responses, like, because when you send an HTTP web request, you get a response. And then we're going to get these responses. There are some responses, for example, like the application is not available, there's a problem, an error occurred, or whatever. There are lots of things that they are predefined. They're available for you to take a look at. I will share with you that at the end of the session. So once I click the send tile, okay, I'm getting this I'm converting the text box URI. I'm getting the value of it. I'm adding it to a subscription URI. That's the URI I'd like to send to. And I'm creating an HTTP web request. I'm calling it send notification request. And then I'm creating that request with the subscription URI that I passed, or that in this example I edited in the text box. And then I'm specifying the method of this HTTP web request to be a post message. And then this is the tile message I'm sending. You know, I'm just copy pasted it. I'm getting the values of the text boxes that I have in my page. For example, in a database example, then you might need to fetch these values from a database, from your database. And then I create a notification message. I encode that to get the bytes, convert that to a stream or to an array of bytes, so that I can send that as a payload. And then I specify the content length with the notification message dot length, and the type is an XML, a text XML schema. I'm sending a tile notification, so I'm specifying the headers. The target is to be a token, and I'm specifying the notification class to be the top priority one, which is the fastest. I want an immediate send. And then if you already worked with the web services before, you'll find this kind of straightforward for you. If not, in web services you need to do a request stream, so that in that request stream you write the notification message and then and this notification method starts from 0 till the length, specifying that length you're sending. And then once you send that message, this is the message you're sending, and this is the length you're sending that message, and then you get a response. In that response, you can get the status, the subscription status, whether the device is connected or not, and you paste that. We add that to the response text box we have here. And that's it, actually. And of course, we're putting all of that in a try and catch, because if there are any exceptions, we find. So again, let's just take one more round on it. We get the URI. In this example, I'll copy paste it, but in your examples, you should fetch that URI from your database, and then send notification request to create an HTTP web request to that subscription URI that you got. Again, and then you just specify the type, the method, the post message that you'd like to send, and this is the tile message that you're sending. Create you convert that message to an array of bytes, so that you can send it as a notification payload, and then I specify the send notification request, the content, the length of the content is the notification message with length, the type, the target, which is a tile, immediate send, and then you create a request stream, and then you write that notification message with the specified length here. So that's what happens when you offset and the count how many exactly you'd like to send. And then the HTTP web response is exactly what happens when you send this. You send the notification and get the response through this line of code, and then you're done. So let me give it a run for you. So let me run the server. Okay. So here's the local host. Let me kind of split the screen. And in my application, I will just give it a run. And this is the channel URI created, right? And this is exactly I posted it in this window, the debugger, for in a debugging mode, so that I can just get a copy of that one. I copy it, I put the URI here. Of course, in your example, you will have to use a database that is hosted in your server, for example, and then you can change whatever you want in your application. So let's add any title, like end of session. An image, yes, and for the images, I already have these images on my application. I can just use that one. So like green.jpg, white, I can, for example, blue.jpg. Front count, I can add like 18. Back title, and then I send tile notification and suppressed, connected, and active. So I should find that on my application. Oh, okay. I did not even pin it, so I should find it here. So that's the one notification. Pin to start. Yeah. Let me give it another one. Can you see? I just sent to the URI that was created, that I have in my URI in the database. I can edit whatever I want here. Like, I don't know, front title, send again. I just send the notification, please flip. Yep, it's front here. The count, maybe like 19. Send the title again. See, it updated to 19. You can do that one. So if you already have this as on the store, you can change that one whatever you want. I like it. We've got people are enjoying it. So any questions, guys? I mean, like, this is kind of the breakdown of really what you can do with push notification. Actually, this is a simple one. Collins, remember we tried to do the same thing a few days back. I should get that demo from my presentation. So I'll be more than happy to share with you the code, guys. I'll put it in a SkyDrive if you want to download it. It's very simple to use, and this is kind of the simplest one. And again, I'm trying to use the simple code for you guys so that you get the concept. So that you can implement that directly into your application. So any questions? Because I think we're done for the application. Let me check. I think like we have like maybe one more left. Demo, actually, there was one more slide left, which is, yeah, these are kind of a response custom headers, HTTPS status code 200, okay, there are lots of things, notification status, device connection. These are the responses you get when you send an HTTP web request. If you want to get all the responses, this is, if you just use this link below, you can just get that one for you to understand what's happening when you send this notification. So that's what we've done so far. We've talked about the tiles and the push notifications. Push notifications are amazing for to send the timely basis notification to your application and to your users. And yep, and I think we're done for today's session. Let me know. Do you have any questions? Check. Thanks, Osama. Really happy you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was an awesome demo.
Thanks, Osama. Thanks very much. Thanks, Collins.